With your Buccaneer Brief, I'm John Stevens as we wrap up a weekend full of soccer, starting on Friday with the women in conference action against Lipscomb. This early on in the first half, heavy pressure on the Bison defense, and Courtney Deem from well outside the 18-yard box just gets this past Aaron Zario for her first collegiate goal.
Kayla was dribbling down the line, and then I called for the ball, and she passed it back, and I took a couple touches and saw the open net, and I knew that I could beat the keeper, so I just lofted it in.
Bucks up 1-0 at intermission. Second half, through ball from Jenna Peterson for Kayla White. Whoops, look what I found. After the collision, White finishes for her second of the season. Bucks up 2 after that.
Back defender got confused, and they switched together, and the ball just dropped in front of me, and the open net was there, and I just easily placed it in the back of the net.
And that is how it would end. 2-0 the final. ETSU 2-0 in conference, 6-2-1 overall. Best record of any ASUN team, and a chance to get to 3-0 in conference with another in-state rival coming up on Sunday. And we'll have that on the other side of this quick look at the men's last non-conference match from Saturday.
Scott Calabrese and his men's soccer team were riding high from a 2-1 overtime victory against the Marshall Thundering Herd and got off to exactly the kind of start they wanted against UNC Asheville when David Gino smashed home a volley to give the Bucks an early 1-0 advantage.
It was great. I mean, Guy played a ball over the top, and Alessi was able to shield the defender, and I was just in the right spot.
The Bulldogs pulled back later in the first half, sending the clubs into the half on level terms. ETSU had several chances to pull ahead, but were left frustrated by fortune in regulation, giving the fans some more bonus ball action. It took 2 frames of overtime for the Bucks to break through this time, but it was junior Aaron Schoenfeld who played the hero once again when he found himself undefended in the box.
That's really awesome. I mean, looking back on it, I didn't really see 2 games in a row get one in overtime, so I've never had one until this year. So it's a great feeling. I'm kind of right place at the right time for that goal. Our team's we're really clicking right now. Everyone's playing together really well, and just couldn't do it without all my teammates.
They've now been in overtime several times this season, and for me, it's very gratifying to see them fight through it. It's a lot of pressure. It's a golden goal, and I'm really proud of their performance and their desire to win the game.
The Bucks outshot the Bulldogs by a 26-12 margin in their second overtime win in as many matches. That wraps up the nightcaps for the weekend, but the ladies had one more matinee show on Sunday.
This is Corey Presley with the Buccaneer Brief, and the weather matched the mood at the end of the conference game against Belmont.
Terry Miller. Miller shakes her defender.
Things would get physical early as Miller would get booked with a yellow card. Neither team would score in the first half, but in the second half, Belmont took advantage. It was short-lived, though. The next trip down the pitch, Terry Miller puts in this beauty. ETSU would take advantage in the 81st minute when Miller netted her second goal of the contest.
Terry Miller again, and she scores! Terry Miller has done it again for ETSU. They lead 2-1 with 9 3/4 minutes to play in regulation.
Belmont, however, would not go away and got yet another corner to go in, this time it coming off the foot of Marcela Sanchez. That would send the match into overtime when the Bruins would get a lucky bounce, this one coming from 35 yards out to end the game.
It's touched in, and it's a goal.
Belmont had 8 more corners than the Lady Bucks, 2 of those going in for goals. But that's all the time we have for today. This has been Corey Presley with your Buccaneer Brief.